this is Nikki. I am back for week 2. I think I did pretty good for week 1. I wasn't super strict, didn't make any, drastic changes yet or anything. Still kind of, I'm the type of person where I need to plan stuff out and I need to have like lists and, schedule and things like that. So I've actually just really spent the past week um, researching and making kind of a plan for myself, which I'm going to put into place this week. Um, I did though, just by making some small changes, I did happen to lose 3.4 pounds in the past week, which I'm very proud of for not having done very much different, just, watching what I'm eating a little bit more and being more aware. I also made a couple of other small changes like switching to natural toothpaste that I made myself, which I love. I think works so much better than any other toothpaste that I've used before. My teeth feel so clean afterwards after using it. I'll share that recipe later for you. What I want to do this week was kind of touch more on this picture that I had showed you last week. This one here, the different things. A lot of them that I found that apply to me, a lot of them have to do with PCOS. Um, and I kind of want to touch on that. And oh, my cat is jumping up here to say hello. Oops. um, so PCOS has a whole bunch of it's like an umbrella kind of with all these different symptoms underneath it. You can have 10 different women in a room, all with PCOS. Every one of those 10 women will have different symptoms. I mean, they all have obviously like the underlying common denominator, whatever, PCOS, but everyone's going to have different things that affect them. My major ones, I think, obviously, are the being overweight, obviously, the extra hair growth, and oh, I just lost it. I'm sorry, depression, and the irregular periods. I am, I did just recently come off of my birth control pill. I've just done a lot of research on it lately about how it's more of a band-aid. It doesn't do anything to, cure PCOS or do anything to help you, reverse the symptoms or anything like that. And from what I've read, it can, it does more harm than good. So I came off of it and happy to say that I did get a period on my own this past month without being on the pill, which is awesome. Before in the past, I would get my period. Well, for instance, I got my period in November of 2001 and then did not get it for 2.5 years. And I was, young and naive and was just, I didn't want to go to the doctor. I was embarrassed. I was scared. So I just kind of dealt with it. And once I got my period, I went to the doctor's and she kind of, I told her my symptoms. She knew I was overweight. So she just basically was like, you have PCOS, here's a pill. And I wasn't sexually active or anything like that. So she just gave me a birth control pill. And I've basically been on it ever since. Um, and I was 20 years old at that point. So I don't want to rely on a medication like that to regulate myself. And then by the time, when I'm ready to have children, which isn't going to be for a few years, but when I'm ready to have children, I don't want to start then with, okay, this is what we need to do to fix you. I'd rather, get it all in place now and use other methods of birth control that don't affect my body quite as much. Um, so, that being said, on this list here, the things that can, resolve themselves or so when you lose fat. Um, High cholesterol, obviously. I have high cholesterol. I'm on medication for it. Another one of those band-aids that I don't want to have to rely on medication to be healthy. That's a simple thing that I can just change what I'm eating to be healthy. And I mean, obviously I've always known that if you lose weight, you're going to be healthier. I know that. But I'm just starting to realize that I don't need to go to the doctor for a pill if I have something wrong with me. That's just a quick fix. It's not even a real fix. Like I said, it's a band-aid. Um, Sorry, my cat keeps trying to come over here. Um, so I'd rather take the initiative to do what I'm doing now and change my lifestyle so I can get off of these medications. So clearly, the high cholesterol will be resolved in some sense. The other one is the PCOS. On this list here, it says that you will have 100% resolution of menstrual dysfunction, which is huge. I've already seen, some progress with that, so I have faith that if I get to a healthy weight, I'll be good to go, and that's huge. Um, Another one is joint pain. I am 27 years old. My knees should not hurt when I'm going up and down stairs. That's just pathetic, and I know it. So that's a big one. That's an easy fix too, and something that I sh- I get mad at myself for getting this far where I'm having knee pain at this age. Um, Another one is GERD, which I have, which is gastroesophageal reflux disease. Basically heartburn. Um, you know, I know it has long term, damaging effects and everything. It's just mainly right now for me, it's just like an irritating thing where heartburn doesn't feel good, and I don't like having it. And when I did the vegan gluten-free diet, I don't think I ever had any heartburn with that. Another one is hypertension, high blood pressure. My blood pressure has gone down, but it's still a little on the high side. Again, I don't know how much of that is due to birth control pill because that can raise your blood pressure. Um, but now being off of it, and I'm curious to see. I haven't had my blood pressure taken for a while, but I'm curious to see if it has gone down at all. Um, Another one is asthma. That is huge for me. It's huge. Um, I've always had asthma, or well, not always, until like when I was around maybe 7 to 9 years old, I was diagnosed with it. It was never a big deal for me. If I, spent all day on the beach or something like that, um, or was in humid weather or anything like that for too long, then I would feel it. Now I feel it every single day. I'm actually having a hard time with it today. I've had to use my nebulizer today because I can't breathe. But I don't know how much of it is due to being overweight and how much of it is due to being in the South now. I'm from Massachusetts, but I've been in South Carolina for about a year and a half now. The past 6 months, my lungs have just been terrible. I used to use my inhaler maybe once every 2 weeks, once a month even. I didn't even know where it was half the time because I didn't need it. And now it's every day, multiple times a day. And I usually have to rely on my nebulizer as well. Um, and it sucks not being able to breathe easily at my age. This is something that I didn't think I'd ever really have to deal with. So the fact that this list here says that it would be 82% improved or resolved, that would be amazing. Um, yeah, that would just be amazing. Another one here is obstructive sleep apnea. I was sent for a sleep test about 2 years ago. I was complaining to my doctor that I was just always tired. Always, always, I've said it before, always tired. This morning, for instance, I woke up at 10 o'clock this morning. Around 12 o'clock, I was laying on the couch falling asleep, and I made myself get up and do this video because, I needed to get moving. Still tired though. I could fall asleep right now, but I'm gonna try and ignore that. Anyway, they said I did have sleep apnea, but I was not eligible for the sleep machine, the CPAP machine. I went to ear, nose, and throat, I believe, doctor. I think that was who took care of it, but I went there and he took a look at my tonsils and said that my tongue is enormous. He said that your tongue, which I didn't realize this, but as you gain weight, your tongue gains weight also. If you lose weight, your tongue loses weight also. So he said that what's happening basically when I'm sleeping, my tongue is relaxing and blocking my airway, and I'm snoring. And just yesterday morning, actually woke up gasping for breath because I felt like I couldn't breathe. In my dream, I was dreaming that I was having an asthma attack, and I don't know I don't know if that was it or if it was my tongue, but that's really scary to wake up to feeling like you can't breathe. So again, simple changes in my lifestyle will change that. It's a huge reason as to why I'm tired all the time. I'm not sleeping well because I'm not breathing well sleeping. So that's a big one. And last on this list that I have, I'm just mentioning the ones that I have on this list, but the last one is depression. I've been on Prozac for the better part of the past 6 years, I believe. I've been, obviously we all have our stuff that we've been through in life. Um, and that's when I started on Prozac. And just since then, I've been on it. I always thought that it was all, chemical imbalance, which I mean it is, but chemical imbalance and life stressors and things like that. But I didn't realize how much being overweight and PCOS had to do with depression as well. That's another thing that when I lost weight and did the whole vegan gluten free thing, I I felt great. Mentally I felt wonderful. So that would be great to get off of that medication as well. Um, so as you can see, I'm on medication for a lot of things that can be, if not completely resolved, at least resolved in some sense. So we'll see what happens there. Of course, I'm not gonna, just go cold turkey off of medications without seeing a doctor. I'm, you know, not a doctor, so don't think like watch this and say, oh, I'm gonna go off my medication too. Obviously, consult your doctor first. But but yeah, that is my goal. So now I'm going to do my body shot for this week. So here's from the front and from the side. So thank you again for watching this week, and I look forward to updating you next week. Bye.